everyone, it's me I guess, and I'm doing voiceovers now, which is honestly terrifying. Anyway, today I'm designing a new sea as I haven't done it in a while. I'm using what's it called? A filter for my voice as I'm still not comfortable with using my real one, so I guess you have to do it with this. I accidentally coloured in the final design on the right first with the skin tones, and I think it was quite a mistake. I wanted to do the first one first, which is the initial design process for thingamajig, and the right one's the final one. So I only did the face as I just realised, and then I moved on to the last one, I guess. I used some Spectrum Noir markers my mum just got me today. So thanks mum, and they work really good for the skin. I might list the colour names down. Anyway, I think the skin has actually blended quite nicely, and I'm actually finally doing the left one, so yeah, I get why people don't really know what to say in voiceovers, because it's just so awkward. Colouring the skin was quite nice, as I've got brush markers and it makes it so much easier to use. I really recommend you save up to get them if they're available in your country, obviously. So yeah. Just ignore that. Anyway, I'm now colouring the hair, which honestly looked like grandma's hair for some reason. Obviously because it looks grey, but it wasn't how I intended it to be, as I was expecting it to be like a more platinum colour, but things don't always work out. So I pretty much thought about her backstory. She currently lives in Eurasia, which is Europe and Asia if you didn't already know, and it's the year 2150. So basically her parents are scientists, which they're around, I'd say, the 1923s, and they were trying to build a time machine to see what it was like in the future. So their daughter, which I haven't figured out her name yet, later goes on to explore the time machine. So basically she goes to the present year now, which is 2150, as over there was 1923. Anyway, she sort of gets stuck there as, well, she hasn't got a way back, and the time machine disappeared after she got there. So that's where the locket comes in, because it's basically like a signal, it's like a sign from her family. It's like an heirloom, I can't explain things. And basically it shows that they're scientists and they invented it. So it's pretty much like the backstory of the locket origin, as my opposite OCs have one, if that makes sense. I originally wasn't sure what to colour in her jumper thing, as I was quite confused whether I should make it a grey or a brown, but I knew I wanted to use something neutral and something that isn't too bright to sort of reflect the early 19th sort of vibe, as it was quite a long time ago, and I can't talk today, and the clothing was more neutral, as they didn't really manufacture the really bright coloured ones you see today. At the end I didn't choose a brown, but I chose like a sort of bluey grey, as it would just clash too much with the rest of her design, which you'll see later on. And anyway, now I wanted to do these sort of eyes, because she's got these really strange eyes that no one has ever seen before in her time. It's like sort of misty blue colour, so they're quite important and special, and they actually make up a part of her story, as she disguises herself as they're supposed to be parents, as they were a very important figure, and there were a few photographs of them taken in the 19s, and so in the future she sort of uses this to her advantage, as she really looks a lot like her mum. So yeah, but I'm not going to reveal too much about my story for now. As you can see, I ramble a lot through text and voiceovers as I don't really know what to say and my wording doesn't go right, so sorry if you get confused. Just ask me down below if you've got any questions. I'm actually quite happy with the way I shade, but as you might have noticed, it's not as well shaded as I expect it to be, and in the future you're going to see me experiment a lot with the lighting and trying to add like yellows or blues just to make my drawing seem more realistic, even though it's not at all in a realistic style. Whenever I draw the eyes bigger, they always seem off. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I just like to point that out. But in the end, I think they look alright, as I have once tried to attempt to do like big eyes in my style, but it looked horribly wrong. I decided to film at an angle when I peel off the wash tape, as I find it satisfying, so I feel like it might relax you, but I'm not really sure. I had a bit of difficulty when pulling the last one off as I couldn't really pick it off, so in the end I just used my nail to just try and pick it off. By the way, please let me know if you'd like future voiceovers, but I still think I'll do them anyway, as it is so much easier to edit and I feel like I can upload more, and I feel like that's just an overall good decision. So yeah, in the background I decided to do some neutral colours, and I think it turned out quite nice and it really suited the vibe. And now I'm finished with the face drawing, yay! I really enjoyed drawing her eyes, as I never really draw light blue ones, but more like a more saturated blue, and so I think it makes my art look better as I'm trying more things and it just helps me find what I like, and I feel like you should try it to try and experiment with hairstyles, hair colours, eye colours and anything, because trust me, in the end you'll love it. I'm sorry again for putting off drawing your OCs, but I will eventually get to it. I'm just being quite busy and I haven't really been motivated to draw them, but I do love the designs, there's nothing to do with that. I just haven't really been feeling motivated to do it, but I feel like I'm going to do it this weekend or the next one or sometime in between, or I don't really know. At first I wanted to give her only this sort of platinum hair, but in the end I thought it looked too basic and a bit cliche, so I decided to do it sort of like all brown, but only platinum at the tips or some like strips of it. For example, at the back of her head there's a huge strip in the middle, so I think that's a feature that makes it quite unique, so I'm really happy with that, as I kept the original platinum hair I wanted to use, but I also chose something new which would look so much better. It's my birthday in around a month and I'm getting the basic ohuhu set, so I feel like that will make my shading a lot more in-depth, as brush markers are really easy to blend with, and I feel like they're really going to improve my art even though I've never tried them. In the near future, she's going to meet Cove. If you don't know her, just check my AC trading cards video. And she really wants to move to like North America, USA, I don't really know what to call it. And she later becomes best friends with Cove, as their personalities really match and they just have the same sort of quirky personality as each other, and I just feel like they would be the cutest best friends. I ended up going too light for the sort of top she's got. What is it called? Anyway, I feel like I should have used a dark colour instead, as that would go well with the whole design and the sort of time period she's come from. But if you haven't noticed already, her clothes have sort of become a little more modernised, if that word even exists, as you don't really find this type of clothes in the 1920s, do you? So basically, she sort of got into an accident and she had to cut off some of the top part of her weird sleeve thing, and it basically makes her outfit come together, as before it was like this sort of cloak, but she now trimmed and sewed it in the way which would suit her a lot better, as she's just become accustomed to the new futuristic world. So yeah, the accident she got in was basically after she got into the sort of time machine thing. Well, when she got out, it exploded and there was a lot of fires. So after she put out her cloak on fire, it was all burnt and black and sort of like charcoal-y. So she decided to trim it off with this sort of like blade she found just abandoned. It was quite a rusty one, as I don't think anyone used it for a very long time. So basically that's how the accident happened. I actually just thought of that right now. Anyways, her design is already done well, and I decided to give us this plaid pattern for her skirt. It's a pencil skirt, and I thought it would be really cool if I added some sort of like pockets that you put on a cargo pants. And I think the design ended up really cute, and she actually uses the pockets for storage and essentials like food and water and medicine just to survive on her trip to Eurasia. But she does meet a few of my other seeds in Eurasia in the process. I really want to expand on the story, but for now this is what I've got. And I wrote down some information about her down below. Wait, no, not down below, like under the eyes. And it basically has a lot of facts about her and the basic like principles to her basically. But I am not really happy of my handwriting, as I know that I can write a lot neater than that. I am not a messy handwriter. You should see my books at school. For no reason, I decided to draw some arrows just to fill up the space. But I feel like that could really foreshadow like a future plot to a story. But I'm not very sure. Maybe she could learn archery or something. I don't know. We're coming close to the end, and thank you so much for watching. And I am starting to do shout outs, so if you like a shout out, just comment this emoji. And thanks for watching, and I guess you can. Here's some banner I got from some amazing people, so thank you. And well, bye.